Hello everyone and welcome to this pick a card reading video. In this video, we will be looking at who is trying to sabotage your life. Now, you may feel drawn to more than one stack, and that's completely fine. And you may already have somebody in mind, so maybe you will be drawn to a stack that provides extra validation for this person or these people. Or maybe you're not quite sure, and so that's why if you feel drawn to any of these stacks, you'll get some information in that regard. And also, I do want to say that this doesn't mean that people are sabotaging your life in terms of wishing for your absolute downfall. Maybe for some of you, hopefully not, but it could also just be on a smaller scale that people are wishing you ill intent. Anyway, here is stack 1A, stack 2B, stack 3C, stack 4D. You can pause if you'd like and if you need some more time to figure out which stack you are most drawn to. If you are not drawn to any of the stacks, that's completely fine. This just might not be the pick a card reading video for you, but I have plenty of other timeless pick a card reading videos located all throughout my YouTube channel. As a reminder, everything I talk about and discuss in this video is for entertainment purposes only and cannot be stated as fact. Alright, let's get into it. Hello 1A and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. So the tarot cards that we have here are the Eight of Wands in reverse, the Eight of Pentacles upright, the Three of Pentacles upright, the Empress in reverse, the Seven of Wands upright, and the Tower upright. And then for the Oracle cards, we have Saturn. It says the maturity that brings, caution regarding, limits imposed, be realistic about, be concerned about, and you must wait before you can. And then we have 10, be fluid, and I will read from the guidebook for that later on. For you, I will say the messaging is pretty clear that the person who's trying to sabotage you or your life at this moment is somebody in your workspace. This could be a coworker, but this could also be a boss of some kind. Since I have the Three of Pentacles here, though, that makes me think of people who are on a similar level as you in your career. And this could be somebody who works at your workplace alongside you, or it could be somebody who is just within your community. And when I say within your community, that could be somebody who has a similar job as you, maybe at a different company in the town or area that you live in. But even it could be somebody who you network with in some way, somebody who you know online who does a similar line of work as you. It reminds me of, like, let's say you're a nurse, but you're on like a nurse subreddit, and let's say you're pretty active in there. And then because of your comments and your experience, maybe people get jealous of you. There's a lot of jealousy tied into this pile. Not from you, from this other person. Granted, I actually feel like this could relate to more than one person in your life, but I feel like there's one specific person. And it's interesting because I think some of you, if you think about this, who this person could be in your life, I don't think you're close with this person at all. It feels like this person is somebody who's just there, and it's like if you were to try to figure out who it is and then you come to the conclusion that it's this person, I think a lot of you would be like, really? They care that much about me? Like they're that jealous about me, or they're preying on my downfall that much that they want me to fall or they want me to not do well? Like, what's this about? So I think a lot of you would actually be pretty surprised. And if you do have a feeling you know who it is already, I think this reading will really open your eyes. Like, I can't believe they apparently wish ill intent upon me that badly. Like, maybe some of you are like, I felt like maybe this person didn't like me or that they were jealous of me, but I didn't know to this extent. It feels like they hold a lot of jealousy, but it feels like if it helps you feel better, I think they are jealous of a lot of people. The Empress is in reverse, and so I think this person is somebody who has a lot of personal insecurity, and I think they feel best when they tear other people down. I wouldn't be surprised if this person is a gossiper. They very much seem like somebody who gossips a lot, and it seems like this person has been through a lot in life, but instead of seeking help for that in any way, or instead of finding like solutions for themselves. They take out their anger and their insecurity on other people because then that makes them feel like, okay, well, at least somebody else is down here. And I feel like this person is somebody who is quite not only insecure, but there's a lot of sadness around them. Saturn can bring that kind of energy where it seems like they are very kind of a sad person. I wonder if they don't have many friends themselves, or if the friends they do have are very similar to them. And so it just their friend group is very problematic, and they allow for this type of behavior, this insecure, it's very childlike behavior. I don't know how old y'all are. I don't, again, you should be 18 plus to watch these videos, but it very much gives somebody who's maybe in their like this doesn't have to be the case, but it gives somebody who's in their like mid 30s who acts like they're a 20-year-old or a teenager. It's very weird. I think they take things personally very easily, and it feels like they're not good at accepting or taking criticism. So there may have been a point in time where you have given them feedback or criticism in some way. And anything that's not positive feedback, I feel like this person completely takes it as you hating them and you being disrespectful toward them. And by you, I mean you, but also anybody. And so if you've had to do this in any instance, or if anybody's told you an opinion and you have a different opinion or a different work ethic, then I think people could judge you for that. That's actually a good example. Let's say you are in just an office space, but everybody has different organization skills and different work ethics for what they do and maybe what they check off the list first or how they talk to people on the phone. There's something about you and your work ethic, what you do in your work that people are jealous of because for you it at least appears to be very effortless. I mean, we do have Be Fluid here. Oh, this card by the way, Be Fluid, represents advice for you. So Saturn relates to just the reading in general for this person. Be Fluid relates to advice Spirit has for you as it relates to this person and this situation. So we have Be Fluid, and again, I'll read in that later on. But I think 10 is an important number because when I think of Saturn, I think of Capricorn and I also think of the 10th house. So it reminds me of career. And also reminds me of just fulfillment in general. I feel like that relates to you as well because the more you are happy and fulfilled, I feel like the more this other person struggles with that, and it feels like you're somebody who stays in your own lane, you just do your own thing, and you associate with the people you want to associate with. And I think because you're more level-headed and logical and you're able to stay calm, I think this other person very much is jealous of that. With the tower here, it seems like, again, they've been through a lot in life, and so I think there's somebody who is probably very hyper vigilant as well, which is why they feel like anybody else who maybe is doing better than them or who seems like they're better off in life than them, it feels like a personal attack on them. And it feels like they're the type of person who compares their lives to other people and thinks that other people, if they're doing better than them, then they have to like knock that person down to their level, is the way that this comes across. And this person, it's weird. They don't seem to really know what they even want in life. They don't really seem to know what direction to take. It feels like they've probably taken on a lot of different paths. I wouldn't be surprised too with the Eight of Wands in reverse. This person maybe has, if they're new, like if they're younger, again, like 20s is maybe even though they act like, or no, they act like they're in 20s. I don't know. Anyway, they give a youthful energy, and that could be just because of the insecurity. But I don't know if this person is new to the workforce or if they're just new to this company, but it gives it a vibe of that where they at least haven't been there as long as you. And I think that's also why, if that's the case for some of you, if you've been at a workplace longer than this other person, then they feel like it's just a given that you're probably viewed in a higher regard to them. And so I think they just take that as an attack. But there's this energy of youthfulness where I don't know too if I was gonna say also that I feel like they have done a lot of different work in their life. It feels like they've done a lot of different jobs, and it feels like they probably get fired or quit a lot of jobs quick, like very rapidly. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're at this workplace, if they end up leaving sometime soon, like within this next year. it seems like there's somebody who can't stay put, and it seems like a big reason for that, without them even realizing, is that they don't get along with people, and that a lot of times I think they are a big part of that problem, if not pretty much the only problem. But it feels like they cause issues themselves in the workplace. And if you work in customer service or anything like that, I feel like this would not be a good fit for this person. I feel like they're not good at being around other people. So, I don't know how that would work for them. I feel like they would do well, because here's the thing too. They get power from being around other people is the way this comes across, even if it's in a way that tears other people down. Like, they're the type of person too who, if customers come in, then they would talk crap about them. Now, if this is a boss of some kind or somebody who's like a leader in the workplace, I get the sense that there's somebody who probably tries to impose a lot of rules and strictness, and that they probably change the rules a lot as it best fits their needs. And specifically, I think if something is inconvenient for other people, that they are then going to have that be like the new rule, something that's inconvenient for you. Like, let's say for some reason they're like the boss of a store, and you have, let's say you're in college still, and so you're like, I have to go to classes at, I have classes at 6 p.m. And so they're like, that's fine. We only are open until like 5 p.m. I don't know. And then let's say that now, because they are having this jealousy towards you in some way and feeling like they need power and control over you, because that's a big thing about this. This person feels like they need power and control over you, of people, of their surroundings, their pets, everything. Any situation, any person, anything. And so let's say, go back to this example I'm giving. And then let's say that out of nowhere, your boss or the person in charge of the store is like, now we have to stay open until 6 o'clock p.m. And you're like, well, that doesn't work for me. Like, I have college classes. And they're like, well, that's too bad. You're going to have to do this anyway. So it feels like if they do things like this out of, like, they just do this out of jealousy and out of spite, out of hate. I feel like they think a lot. I think they already feel like a lot of people don't like them, even when they first meet people. I think they just go into it with an attitude of, this person doesn't or will not like me, so I'm just already going to showcase the fact that I do not like them or that I do not appreciate them. So it's very much that this person is on the attack, on the defensive. They're very defensive and also a very, what is it called? Not reflective. When people, I get, deflective, there we go, where they deflect onto other people their own insecurities. And the energy of this person is just not good. They, I think very deep down, it's just they have a very wounded inner child. And with the Saturn, I'm looking at the limits imposed and caution regarding. I feel like, yeah, this person has walls up around them. And so, without even realizing it, I think they just attack other people also so that people don't get close to them. Because maybe they've been told in childhood that the real true them is not a good person or isn't lovable in some way. So then they just like project that onto other people, so then people can't get close and know the real them. And so I think that's actually important for me to say, because I think the way they act isn't the true real them. I think they subconsciously and unconsciously do these things and have these patterns of behavior and of talking with people that are to protect them from people getting close to them and to prevent hurt from happening to them, to prevent themselves from getting vulnerable. This seems like somebody who isn't able to emotionally open up. I think they would rather like, oh, I don't want to get that imagery. I was gonna say it's like they would rather jump off of a cliff than to be emotionally vulnerable and emotionally honest. This is the type of person who really, that kind of stuff is fearful for them. And I think a lot of that does relate to childhood. This person probably got bullied when they were younger too. Uh, I don't really get the sense that, because you think of people in childhood, there's different like quote unquote roles people played in school. Like, there's the bully, there's the popular kid, there's the nerd and geek, there's the athletic people, and a lot of times, at least in my school, the athletic people were the popular people. But anyway, there's a sense that this person could have been bullied in some way, and so then they kinda just kept to themselves and probably didn't have as many friends. This is the way that this comes across. I was gonna say, I don't get the if they're kind of a bully now, I don't get the sense that they were the bully when they were younger, although for some of you, maybe that does relate because it just does give off very much bully energy, but it feels like it's because of them being bullied when they were younger, not because they were, like, the popular kid, not and I was gonna say, I keep needing to say this, some people feel the need to conform, to be popular, or to be well-liked. I don't really get the sense of that. I feel like they were just somebody who was different in childhood, so then they feel like they're too different now for people to like them. And, yeah, it's quite a sad energy here for them. I think if they got therapy, that they would really be able to do better. Because I don't think it's any particular person that could help them. I think it would take a lot to help this person to not be so hateful and so jealous of not just you, but pretty much everybody. I think too, they're almost jealous of parts of themselves when they were younger. I think about this too. I was getting imagery of me, like, or I was just thinking of, yeah, me in certain situations where I'm not jealous of younger me, but I do think of moments where when you're younger, you have less responsibilities, you have less that you have to think about as much. You just are trying to grow and learn. There's so much stimuli in your environment, and you're trying to adapt. And so it makes me think of that, where I think this person wishes that times were simpler, but they don't realize that they are the reason why times are so difficult for them. It's like things don't have to be as difficult as they were when they were younger, but they almost make it that way because that is safer. Because now, too, they have more responsibility. I think this person is very fearful of responsibility. So when they have responsibility, they have perfectionism because they feel like they need to do the best or else something bad will happen. And so that's why when other people outperform them or do better than them in some way, are better at talking with clientele, anything like that, making more money, then this person takes it as a personal attack and they feel like they need to do something in order to be more on top of things, is the way that that comes across. And I'm not saying you have to befriend this person at all, by the way. I think you befriending them, they'll just find ways to like stab you in the back, is the way this comes across, because they're not fully healed yet. I think there is a possibility for a change to happen, but it will have to take a whole lot because this person is so stuck in fight or flight and in such a stubborn energy. Like they are in such self-protection mode. So I think it'll have to take, I think, for them, an external experience to get them to change. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't think people will really, I said maybe like a counselor, but I'm seeing people talking to them and then just like putting their palm up, like, "No, don't talk to me, talk to the hand," kind of thing. So I think this person, it will have to take a situation that they go through in life to really that will change all of their life, so therefore, it will change their perspective. Other than that, I do not see their perspective shifting or changing in any way. I see them remaining as they are, and it's unfortunate. Uh we can't always change or help people. I think a lot of you maybe have tried to show grace to this person, and maybe you just like, or maybe again, you don't know them very well. So it's like, I think a lot of you actually aren't very close with this person at all. So, but I think you try to be nice to this person, and that's okay to like be nice to people. But yeah, don't let this isn't the kind of person you want like in your inner circle. It's not good energy there. At least not for right now or any time in the near future that I can see. So we will go into the guidebook now. We have 10, be fluid. This is advice for you as it relates to this situation. In this great sea of dynamically shifting circumstances and events, now is a time to choose flow over fixity. Be flexible, fluid, and gracefully adaptable. And see, that's the opposite of well, I think this person had to adapt, but they didn't do it very gracefully. It's like they were forced into it. And so now what Spirit's telling you is to do the opposite of what this person has had to do from their childhood and be graceful in how you adapt. You are reminded to love what is. This does not mean resigning yourself to being stuck where you are. You can find the blessing and perfection in your present moment while simultaneously choosing to create positive change according to your highest vision for yourself, your life, and any situation, such as the wisdom of fluidity. Yeah, I just think part of the advice really, I'm not done reading this yet, obviously, but part of the advice is clearly that you should just stay in your own lane and remain positive and realize that this person doesn't have an effect on you as long as you don't allow them to. Fighting against what is already happening will likely manifest misery by putting you in opposition with what is already true. Yeah, so don't try to change this person. You can be nice to people, maybe say things every once in a while to like hopefully spark their mind to think differently, but try not to go too in depth with those kinds of conversations. Instead, enter into the receptive, magnetic state of flowing surrender. After all, life is an endless dance of fluid, flowing continuity. Like water, be a shapeshifter and allow your form to change. Freeze, melt, boil, evaporate, condense, or cascade according to what is needed. The Tao Te Ching, translated by Stephen Mitchell, states, "The gentlest thing in the world overcomes the hardest thing in the world. That which has no substance enters where there is no space." Indeed, fluidity is the secret to vast power. Consider how ocean waves break down huge boulders into minuscule grains of sand, how water can enter any portal no matter the size or shape, and how a gracefully flowing river created the Grand Canyon, one of the seven wonders of the world. Access your higher vision now. See how challenges or undesirable situations are all part of the divine design, ushering you toward your highest outcome and more glorious actualization in much the same way that all rivers flow endlessly and irresistibly toward the sea. To embody the wisdom on fluidity, move your body in wave-like undulations. First, lift and expand your heart area, then roll your body inward and again outward in a wave-like motion along your spine. Let your arms naturally and gracefully wave along with you, extending outward as you lift your heart and sweeping inward as you roll down through the spine. Your choice to enter into fluidity will connect you with the unified field of divine power and bring you into harmonious resonance with all of life. And this is ending on page 40, so that reduces down to 4. I think that a lot of you are very divinely protected, but also part of the messaging then is it relates to the messaging just in general, but also that page number with the and reducing down to 4, the angel number 4. Spirit is saying you just have to protect your energy. The best advice they have for you is to just mind your own business and do what you want to do and do what makes you happy. I don't think this is somebody who's a significant person in your life anyway for a lot of you. So it's something where if you have to interact with them for any instance at work, you can do that. Try to be kind when you can be. That doesn't mean let people walk all over you, but just try to limit contact and conversation with this person. And don't let the words they say take you not take you by surprise. Don't let it affect you negatively though. Don't take these things to heart that they say if it's about you or other people. Just drop it. Don't think about or consider it. This person has so much inner turmoil that they are not willing to address themselves. It's not up to you to address it either, though. So just stay in your own lane. And Spirit says that if you just stay in your lane, you'll just continue to be a lot happier of a person than they are. And I just see also in general good things happening for you. If you're somebody who goes through life minding your own business and just doing what's best for you, then abundance, happiness, prosperity in all forms will follow. I will leave it at that though. Thank you so much, 1A, for watching and listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, you can like the video down below. You can comment down below if you resonate with this stack, and you can update your comment again sometime in the future if there are any updates you would like to provide for us all. You can subscribe to my channel, it helps me out a lot. You can check out my other timeless pick a card reading videos located all throughout my YouTube channel. And you can check out my ASMR channel, Brittney's ASMR, that will be linked in the video description down below. Thank you so much again, 1A, and take care. Hello, Tibby, and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. The cards pulled here are the Ace of Wands upright, the Six of Pentacles in reverse, the Six of Wands upright, the Death card in reverse, the Magician in reverse, and the Moon in reverse. And then for the Oracle cards, we have in the 10th house, and it says your destiny, where you're going, your career, responsibility, success, become a person of power and status. And then we have 43, consciously complete. Excuse me. And then I will read from the guidebook later on for that last oracle card. I do want to right off the bat start by saying if you're drawn to this pile, you will also maybe be drawn to pile 1. Just something to keep in mind. But for you, I feel like this person. Oh, wait a minute now. Okay, yeah. I think for many of you, the person involved is somebody who you work with, but specifically, it feels like this is somebody who is a boss. This could also, though, be a like college professor or even a teacher if there's those of you who are still in school. But somebody who is above you in some way, with the Six of Wands here, it makes me think somebody who is well known or well regarded in their work or study or in their community at large. But it feels like this mainly does relate to work or school. So think of a boss or a manager, or think of just anybody who could be above you in your workplace. Now, this person with the moon reverse feels like somebody who comes across as very cold. And with the death card in reverse, it feels like there's somebody who is set in their own ways. So this person seems like they are very traditional. With the magician in reverse too, it makes me think there's somebody, in that being next to death card, there's somebody who doesn't like change. And I think without admitting it, change does scare this person. I don't know why. Why would change scare this person? But it feels like they are unwilling to change. I think it's because when things are changing, when there's new information presented, this person kind of shuts it down because they like to feel like they are the smartest person. And they like to feel like they know what's right and they know what's best. So when new information, even if it's like scientific evidence or evidence based on studies that have been done, it feels like this person does not accept that information. So think of somebody in your life who that could relate to, somebody who isn't willing to change, especially as it relates to somebody who is not willing to accept new information. This person could also be somebody who, they give me the vibes of somebody who isn't very socially accepting, I'll say, for social issues such as people with disabilities, people in the LGBTQ plus community, or people who are gender non-conforming. It seems like this person's very old school. And with the Six of Pentacles in reverse too, that even relates to the fact that when people give them new information, they're not willing to accept it. And I think when people are different from them, they do not like that. So I could see them being the type of person as well who picks favorites for the people who are more similar to them and who like it gives the vibes of somebody who, is a teacher's pet, whether again this is a teacher or not. Somebody who sucks up to this person will get treated better than maybe you, or, well, I imagine you are involved because this person, in a way, is trying to send you ill intent or is trying to sabotage your life in some way. So, in that kind of instance, let's think of a professor, right? And so let's say they're grading papers. They're an English professor. They're grading papers, and they give somebody a good grade even if they don't deserve it because they know that their views and beliefs are similar to theirs. As opposed to, let's say, maybe you, who you do your paper on a subject that or you commentate on the subject, you analyze the subject in a way that they don't agree with, so therefore they just immediately, even if it's supposed to be, opinionated, this paper, it's not supposed to be factual, it's supposed to be maybe your analysis of a certain book that was read. And let's say that you give an analysis they didn't like, so because of that, they gave you a very bad grade. Even though it was very well written, they gave you a bad grade because they just don't agree with the context provided. That's very much the vibe this person gives, where they're not fair and they're not willing to. This is the type of person too who isn't able to own up to their own mistakes. But they're also just not willing to change their mind on things. So I think it's very hard to get through to this person because they are so set in their ways. There's nothing you can do to stop them. And since they appear to be very well respected, or at least to have a lot of control over their work life or career, it seems like people around them give them a lot of praise. Maybe they've been doing their work, it seems like, for a long time as well. This person gives the vibes of somebody who is older. Also, I didn't say, but 43 consciously complete, that relates to you. And the 10th house relates to the reading in general, but the final oracle card, Consciously Complete, relates to advice Spirit has for you as it relates to this person and or situation, okay? Just said I would say that. And I'll still get to that later. But I see that this person is somebody who thinks that they're factual and logical, but when new information presents itself, they just say there's not enough evidence to support it. But I think they claim to be very factual. But I think they're more logical and quote unquote rational as opposed to emotional. There's somebody who I think politically would be like, oh yeah, you can't vote with your feelings, you have to vote with the facts. They're very much giving that. And I think too, even if I just have to keep harping on this. Even if there's information that is so blatantly obvious that what your like professor, your boss is saying is wrong, even if there's flat out fact or there's feedback from clientele, even if there's literal physical evidence and proof, this person then just feels like people are out to get them. And I feel like those kinds of things happening would make this person less likely to even change. Some people are able to change with new information and with evidence, but this person feels like they would get worse and more stuck in their beliefs and more stubborn in that way. But it's weird, even though they're not willing to accept other people's beliefs with the Ace of Wands here, it makes me think that there's somebody who comes up with their own rules and their own set of beliefs. And if other people don't believe them, then that means that they are wrong or that they're just like hateful toward them and like people aren't willing to accept and face the truth. But oh gosh, yeah, now I'm just getting visuals of certain kinds of people in my head. I feel like this kind of person everybody knows, right? But this person is for some reason is trying to sabotage your life because I think you're somebody who has tried to stick up against something they've said. And I just feel like in general they don't treat people very kindly. I feel like they're somebody who has with they are somebody who has a lot of power in the position they are in. And so with that, I think especially if there's nobody above them, they just don't take into consideration what the people below them say. Let's say there's a store owner, right? And he's like, well, like there's all these negative reviews on Google, but I still keep getting the same amount of business. It's not affecting my business, so therefore I'm not going to do any changes. I feel like unless there's such a large economic impact, nothing will be done. But even if there were to be changes made, I think the most that this person would do would just be to like stop talking. Like if there's something they talk about, or if there's a rule they enforce, and maybe they won't enforce that rule anymore, but you can tell that they'll still be mad at you if you don't oblige by this certain rule. Also, I just gotta say, this person seems like very much a misogynist. I just, from the energy of all this, they just appear to be very misogynistic. There's somebody who I think, this doesn't have to be the case, but for those of you who it resonates, just allow it to resonate. But this gives the vibe of somebody who's a straight white man. If you're a straight white man listening to this, when we say all men, we don't actually mean all men, right? Not every single man. But if you just look at the politics of the world and in America specifically right now, there's a lot of hate being spewed by a lot of cisgender white men. There's a lot of people all across the board, right, who spew hate, who have really bad policies. But just the vibe, what I'm saying is that the vibe of this pile is that the person who's trying to sabotage you is an older straight white man who is not willing to change, who doesn't think they're ever in the wrong. And somebody who's in a workplace setting, who's like in a leadership type role. I feel like this is somebody who you're not close to, but you just have to deal with in your day-to-day life or fairly often. This is somebody who, ooh, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. This could also, just for some of you, simply be, this is all alleged for entertainment purposes only. This person could honestly just be Donald Trump. If some of y'all live in America, this could quite literally just be Trump. If you're somebody who is a woman, or if you are part of any minority group, then it would clearly make sense for you as well. 10th house is also the house of people like CEOs and presidents. So, who could be sabotaging your life could be literally the president of the United States. Even if he doesn't know who you are, you know enough about who he is and the policies he's trying to enact. So, this could also just be a spread indicating that your life is greatly impacted by the politics going on right now, especially if I can say, especially if you live in America, from what I can see happening all the time. That could simply just end up being case, or even a CEO or president of your company who you know who they are, you know their name, you know about the rules they have in place, but maybe you've never met them, but you still know about them and yeah, just who they are, even if they don't know specifically who you are. But it does give the vibe of somebody who thinks, as I was saying before, that they have so much power that no matter what, they cannot be taken down. So yeah, with the Six of Wands, it's almost like this person has people who believe in them so much. And I think in some ways this person is well respected because they could make a company a lot of money. So that's why it's like they're so good at making money, even though they're a polarizing figure. If we keep making money and more money than our company's ever made, and we're staying afloat, then we're just gonna keep this person hired on. And that is very unfortunate, to be quite honest. Very, unfortunate, 'cause the energy of this person is just so bad. I'm trying to think. I wanted at least for a few more minutes to get to talking more about these tarot cards. As I was saying earlier with the Ace of Wands, this person I think comes up with new ideas that even if you don't agree with them, they could be quote unquote better for business, but also quote unquote like worse for customers. Like you know what I'm talking about, right? Things can be good for business, like you raise prices on things as the company does, but then less people can afford it. Stuff like that. Or else I feel like this person could hire other people on who are also not great. Have people around them who are also not great. And I just see this person being able to be on the news and stuff too. I don't know. I can't stop seeing Donald Trump, unfortunately. But I just feel like this person's very well known. And I talk about criticism. I don't think many people do criticize them because I think that's probably happened before and then they get shut down and then hate gets sent that person's way. This is the type of person who also I feel like isn't afraid to throw out like I'll sue you. I'll throw out a lawsuit. I'll throw it in your face. Oh, you know what I just realized too? The top row is mirroring the bottom row. All the top row is upright. All the bottom rows cards are in reverse. Interesting. It makes me think too that this person, yeah, just for the balance of respect. I feel like any amount of hate this person gets is balanced out by the amount of love and respect that they receive for whatever reason. I don't think there's somebody who's a team player though. I think they're somebody who only even if they say it's for the company's best interest, it's like, does it bring you fame or fortune, respect, honor? Does it bring you any of these things? Does it bring you a bonus in some way? Does it prove that you're right in some way? If so, then that's what's gonna make this person do these things. And yeah, they do seem like a very successful person. I mean, we literally have the 10th house here. So if this is somebody that you work for, I don't see that anything you bring up to this person would really be helpful in terms of them changing anything. I think they'll just continue to do a lot of the same things up until they pass away. I feel like they're the type of person too who they may retire, but I feel like they'll also keeps even once they retire, if they do, they'll keep spewing around hate. But it also gives the vibes of they'll never fully retire, is what I was hearing. I feel like they're the type of person who will keep working in some capacity. Even if it's not them actually getting much money, even if it's just them, I don't know, let's say they were a store owner and then they give it to somebody else, but then they still hop in every once in a while and just see to make sure that people are complying with the rules and everything that and the prices that they used to have when they were the owner. Like, it's very much giving that, where I think they would retire but still want to be involved in some way, even though they have no legal or logical jurisdiction or like authority over those sorts of situations. All in all, this person just very much gives Scrooge energy. They give Trump energy. So think about this person in your life. And I'm sorry you have to deal with them. Again, for some of you, you don't even be able to deal directly with them, but it's still the things they do impact you. So they're trying to sabotage you, maybe not just directly you, but like the people below them as a whole, because they like having power over people and they like seeing people squirm or suffer. So I don't think it's just you. I feel like there's a lot of people who they don't like, who are like in a workplace setting below them, who they like having power and control over. That's what the main thing is, that they love power and control. So it's not even a direct attack on you, even if it seems like it, because if you're especially part of a minority group or if you stand up against them, it just feels like this is a common theme for them. So you're not in a bad way, not in a way to make you feel bad. This is actually a good thing I say this, I guess. But you're nobody special to them. It's like, yeah, just another person who I can have power and control over, just another person who I can belittle, who I can fire, any of these things. Some of you maybe could run the risk of getting fired as well, so be careful about that. Anyway, let's go into the guidebook now. And it's one of the last cards in here. It is 43 Consciously Complete. And it's also interesting. I noticed earlier or yesterday when I was taking pictures, 43, the opposite of that is 34. And this is on page 134. So it, again, like the synchronicities or the balancing out of the top row and the bottom row of the tarot cards, it kind of presents itself here too. Okay, this is advice that Spirit has for you. The cosmic dance is a never-ending spiral of endings. Never-ending spiral of endings. And beginnings. Every ending is also a beginning. Consciously honoring the completion of something allows you to garner, assimilate, and integrate the gifts of the past as you simultaneously open yourself to the new. So yeah, that makes me think some of you maybe have been fired or will get fired in some way, or that you have quit this job or that you will quit. And so that could be a job in the past. You can think about that being relative to you, but I feel like this is something that's more recent, even if it's something where you don't work at this kind of place anymore, or you don't attend school or anything anymore. Receiving this card indicates a cycle is ending or has recently ended. An experience, relationship, or project is coming to a close. Alternatively, an old behavioral or psychological pattern is ready to be released. To establish closure, consciously work in the realm of energy, emotion, frequency, and vibration. This will ensure you are not weighed down by past events. Additionally, it will ground and dissipate any extra energy that you no longer need. No matter what is ending or has ended in your life, feel appreciation and gratitude for everything it taught you and for all the big and small blessings it brought you. If it's something you're ready to release, accept and embrace the experience and acknowledge the many lessons it brought. It's something that's challenging to let go of. Feel grateful for having had the if it's something that's challenging to let go of, feel grateful for having had the experience. The completion of a cycle is a perfect time for ritual. This ritual can be as simple or as detailed as you wish, as long as you set the intention to alchemically synthesize and metabolize all the many blessings the cycle brought about in your life. Once you do, lovingly let it go. Breathe deeply and relax your mind, body, and spirit. Surrender any details, outcomes, and attachments to the universe. You can do this with absolute trust when you remember the universe will harmonize and calibrate all excess energy and bring all associated aspects and effects into divine and perfect order. Connecting with the grounding, receptive energy grid of Mother Earth is an ideal way to perform such a ritual. Do this simply and effectively through movement. Stand with your heels together and toes pointed out. Place your hands in prayer pose and with a straight spine, squat all the way down until your tailbone is resting near your raised heels and your knees are pointed outward. Close your eyes and breathe deeply, feeling grateful for the experiences and the blessings in your life, known and unknown, past, present, and future. Breathe into your heart and let it soften and open to the endless flow of change that comprises this life experience. Then place your palms flat on the floor in front of you. Feel and sense any excess energy in your mind, body, and auric field flowing out through your palms and into the earth. Be willing to release all attachments to the condition that is drawing to a close, and trust Mother Earth to ground and center you. Allow yourself to be open and receptive to the fresh new conditions and opportunities ahead. Put the past to rest. Let go and move forward with lightness and joyful expectation. Remember, endings are a natural and necessary part of life. They bring needed blessings and growth, and they make way for beautiful new beginnings. So yeah, some of you, I feel like if you haven't left like your workplace yet, and this person is there, this is a sign for some of you if you've been feeling like you should leave, that it would be a good idea to leave. And it could also be an indication that maybe this person will retire soon, because they give the vibe of being older, but or that they will leave and go elsewhere soon. And if you feel that that is the case and you feel like holding on, you could certainly do so, and that would be an ending of that person being in charge. For some of you, this is about moving on to the next phase of life, and for some of you, this workplace you've already it's 10:10 by the time I am in 10th house? Yes, okay, 10:10. My time. Make a wish, everybody. Okay, but this is giving the energy of, what was I saying? Oh yeah, for some of you, this is a person that you were associated with in the past, but for some reason they still have an impact on you. Maybe it's because you feel like if you do one small misstep in your work that you'll be judged or scrutinized. And again, some of you are still in that phase. So Spirit is saying it might be time to move on from this if you haven't already. And if you've already moved on from this workplace or this boss, then to try to release that and try to look at any insecurities you hold from that, how it affects your work and also your work-life balance. Make sure you don't overwork yourself and make sure you're not so hyper scrutinizing of yourself and your own work and your own talent and abilities. So this is just a sign of that potential ending or the already ending and needing to release all that is associated with that ending and that person. I will leave it at that though. Thank you so much, 2B, for watching and listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, you can like the video down below. You can comment down below if you resonate with this stack, and you can update your comment again sometime in the future if there are any updates you would like to provide for us all. You can subscribe to my channel, it helps me out a lot. You can check out my other timeless pick a card reading videos located all throughout my YouTube channel, and you can check out my ASMR channel, Brittney's ASMR, that will be linked in the video description down below. Thank you so much again, 2B, and take care. Hello 3C, and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. We have here Page of Wands upright, the Lovers in reverse, the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, the 6 of Cups upright, the Star upright, and the Knight of Cups in reverse. And then for the Oracle cards, we have in Sagittarius, your highest ideals, the rules of, get it out to the world end, insights to understand, the wisdom of, resulting from the understanding of. And then we have 16, come back to center, and I will read from the guidebook for that later on. But let's just get going first with the tarot cards and the in Sagittarius Oracle cards. So, I was going back and forth on this. And with the Lovers being reversed, it's like, well, clearly it could very much be a romantic partner. So for some of you, this could be a romantic partner or an ex trying to get back to you in some way. Like, get back at you. And for some of you, this is actually family. And I think, how do I want to relay this? I think I'll mainly be talking about a family member that this relates to, but I'll also talk about potentially an ex that this could relate to. And I'll talk about why I think this more so relates to family. So, with the 10 of Pentacles, I think of family and it's in reverse. So, I think that, and then right after that, I pulled the 6 of Cups. So, for me, paired with the other cards, it was actually making me think that the reason why this could also just be your family unit in general, by the way. Or it could be a particular family member. So think about which best applies to you, like your family as a whole or a specific family member. But I wouldn't be surprised if multiple people are involved. Anyway, and like enable this person's behavior is the way this comes across, but it feels like for those of you who this relates to, it's probably a parent of some kind. Could be a sibling, but I feel like it's probably more so a parent because with the star here, well, no, it could be a sibling too. Okay, sorry. There's so many different messages coming through. Let me just start by saying this. If this is a parent that it could relate to, I think they could be sabotaging you from finding a romantic partner, a long-term romantic partner. With the star upright, it makes me think that this parent has had a lot of visions of who they expect your partner to be, what they're like. And even if they say they're like, "Oh, I just care about you. I just care about my family and I just care about who my children end up with." It's like I people can say stuff like that, but I actually get the feeling that it's more so that a parent figure maybe just wants to keep you to themselves. Nobody will ever be perfect to this parent figure, so I think no matter who you bring home, they'll always find flaws in any romantic partner. And you could have a romantic partner right now, by the way. Some of you are single, or some of you could have a romantic partner right now. If there's any issues with family and romantic partner, just know that it's not just about this romantic partner or any past romantic partners, okay? The vibe is that this parent figure just just thinks that nobody will ever they might say nobody ever will meet your standards, but really it's their standards. They have such high standards and expectations that will literally be impossible for anybody to ever meet, even themselves. Like if they were in the shoes of like a potential romantic partner, it's like nobody would be able to fill these shoes. Oh, you know what? That's yes. I feel like your parent thinks nobody can fill the shoes that I have filled in your life. They want to be the main part of your life, so they don't want another person to come in and be a major part of your life because they want to be like center stage in your life. They want to be that star. The star is here. They want to be the star in your life. They want to be, even with the Page of Wands, people consider that like knight in shining armor energy, but then the Knight of Cups, too can be, but I feel like they will always have judgments of your romantic partners, even if they're unfounded. And I think they'll speculate and make random assumptions that aren't true just because they can, because they think that they'll be right. But really, I don't even think they care about being right. They just care about keeping you to them. And I think they are afraid of letting go of you. And I think you're either or both of your parents still view you as this young child or as somebody who needs guidance. It's like I feel like you're very the opposite of parentified. You're very childified. I don't know. You're very much viewed as this almost like innocent weakling by this parent figure. And they say it's to shield you from bad people, but it's really to shield themselves from having to face the reality that you aren't just going to be only known as their child forever. Like, you have other aspirations in life. You have other things that you are meant to do in life, but it feels like this person is always coming up with excuses to put down this potential romantic partner that you either do have or that you used to have. And I also wonder if some of you have parents who, I mean, this is pretty common nowadays, but if you have parents that are separated or maybe never were really even together, I think some of what's happening here is that a parent figure is projecting. Maybe they're still married, but maybe they're just not very happy in their marriage or partnership, right? It feels like for some reason your parent is jealous of you in a way where they project any happiness you could have in a relationship. They project their own insecurities and sadness onto that and their own relationship issues onto your potential partners. And yeah, I wonder if they aren't happy in their like relationship. It also could be that they're jealous of your youthfulness too, is the way this comes across. Because even though like you're their child and they're the parent, like they're jealous of your youthfulness and your ability. You know what this reminds me of? Sorry, I'm gonna call my mom out. She always thinks that she can't find romantic partners when she's older. She's in her 60s and she's like, and she's, we live in, not big area of Minnesota. And so she's like, it's hard to find love. And it very much makes me think of that in a way where Oh, where was I going with this? She's also a Sagittarius, by the way. Oh, and the star is also Aquarius energy, by the way, and the lovers is Gemini energy, both air signs, both mirroring each other. Okay, where was I going with this? Did I just bring up my mother, call her out? No, I'm just kidding. But I just bring her up for nothing. I feel like I was going somewhere with that. Oh, well, it reminds me of how, like, she has these thoughts and beliefs of, like, it's really hard to date when you're older. It makes me think of that. So I wonder if, even if your parent is still in a relationship, it feels like when people get older in relationships, sometimes the spark dies and they don't keep it alive. And if people are single, then they feel like it's really hard to find somebody and they feel like they should just, in general, find anybody who's their age. Or maybe when you're old, when people are older too, they talk about how they're old, so they're not gonna try to find love because they just feel like it's not worth it. So I feel like any or all or combination of those feelings that your parent figure has are projected onto you as it relates to your love life, which is very unfortunate because you deserve to live your life, to be happy. So all in all, you should really focus on what makes you happy and who makes you happy. You're able to use your judgment. You're able to say, I'm not a child anymore. You can't just look at me as a child. Okay, I'm my own person. Now, for some of you who this relates to is that who's sabotaging your life could be an ex-partner. Specifically somebody who is from quite a while ago or from when you were very young, like a teenager or early 20s, because we do have the Six of Cups here, which I tie in with childhood and youthful memories and moments of life. And with the Lovers in reverse, that could indicate that an ex is trying to, ooh, and with the star. So for some of you, it could be that you could be sabotaged by an ex who's trying to get back with you, who actually you shouldn't be with, is the way this just comes across from spirit. Like, the Knight of Cups is in reverse. It's not upright, so they're not this knight that they think they are, but they'll come in with the heat with the Page of Wands. So, I wouldn't be surprised if this ex tries to come back from your past and tries to make a move on you. And I feel like you might think that this is a good opportunity to potentially start again or to forgive and move on. But Spirit, now I'm looking at the Sagittarius card where it says the wisdom of Spirit wants for you. Ooh, I feel like this person, if for this part where it relates to you, if it's an ex-lover, they are a very smooth talker. So I think that's why it's like they'll say all the right things. They'll make you feel like you're special. They'll make you feel like you could give it another go because things will be good. Things will be better this time, right? But with the Ten of Pentacles being reversed and that mirrored by the Knight of Cups in reverse, I feel like they're all talk, no action. And I feel like they'll still continue to make certain mistakes, or you will still be so different from each other that it won't be something that's long lasting. It won't be something that, like, you'll feel nostalgia from being with this person again or happy feelings like from before. It wouldn't feel the same. So they could be trying to sabotage you by limiting your ability to find a partner who's actually meant for you. If there's an ex in your life who's trying to reach out to you at this time or soon will or recently has, don't consider that too much. I feel like Spirit is just saying that that person is not meant for you. You're not meant for each other. Maybe they're not even a bad person. It's just that you have different, with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, it makes me think that you have very different values in life. And with the Lovers in reverse too, it makes me think that you have very different compatibilities. Like, people talk about love languages. Apparently, apparently people don't believe in love languages anymore, but what I'm saying is that people have different ways of expressing and receiving love. And some people prioritize different things more than others. Some people don't care about certain aspects of a relationship. Some people are like very, very much love physical touch. Some people hate that, right? So I just feel like not only do you have very different values and beliefs, but you have very different ways of giving and receiving love in a way that makes you very incompatible. So whatever drew you into this person in the past, I think that they do have a lot of charm and charisma. They have a lot of energy and they seem like the kind of person who just goes for things, which I think is very, in many ways, opposite of your energy. But just because they're a flirt and a smooth talker, that doesn't mean like it would last long term. If you would look into doing short term stuff, you know what I mean by that. you know what I mean by saying short-term stuff. If you're looking into just doing short-term, like, fun stuff with this person, Spirit is saying that, like, although you can do that, it just doesn't seem like it would be long even that wouldn't be long-lasting, like, and it wouldn't really be worth it to do. So it'll just be, like, all that energy, all that time and effort for nothing. So Spirit would want for you to consider that as well. Certain things just are meant to be left in the past, and that's a big message for those of you who have an ex trying to come back in. Where, some people say, hey, like they're able to make it work again with an ex maybe because things were long distance. I don't know. Whatever it is. Just in different points of life. Maybe people are going through shit and they need to be alone for a bit. But really, I just don't get the sense that it would be a good idea to be involved with this person, even to be friends with them. I feel like because they would just always expect for you to I feel like they'll always just try to get with you romantically in that way, short term or long term. So then that prevents you from seeing other romantic possibilities all around you from people who would actually be better suited for you and also I want to say better suited for your lifestyle as well. I wonder, it reminds me of like some people are night owls, some people are early birds. Even stuff like that can be very difficult for people to intertwine their lives like that, where people have such different work and life in general schedules. So I just feel like there might be something that intrigues you to this person, but Spirit wants you to look at that as just that, as being intriguing. And I will say, for some of you too, I think what I was talking about with family and what I've been talking about with romance, it feels like, oh, wait, first I want to talk about the sibling. For some of you, you could have a sibling who's jealous of you because maybe they don't have a good relationship with their partner. So it just feels like they're projecting jealousy in that way. Or they're just, I don't know, it makes me think of siblings can be pitted against each other. Or like things are always a competition for who's like the best child. So even if it's not in relation to romantic stuff, I feel like you could, some of you have a sibling who is jealous of you just because of your life trajectory and they're maybe not happy with their lives. Anyway, what I was going to say before is that it feels like for actually quite a few of you, I would say at least half of you, I think both of these things exist about the romantic partner, but also about family, where maybe your family is very hypercritical of an ex or of all of your exes, of just your romantic partners in general, but at the same time, you could have an ex trying to come back to you and try to talk to you again. But remember, it's not just this ex that your family wouldn't like, it's like anybody in the future, even if they're the perfect person in their eyes, if they laid out like, oh, like even if there's a celebrity on TV and your parent was like, oh, see, you should date them, even if you were to start dating them, your parent could find something, or they would be like, well, they're not dating you for the right reasons. They'd plant these seeds of doubt in your head and in your heart. So it feels like I don't think your family members are doing this out of ill intent purposefully. I don't think they're thinking it's that. I don't think they realize that they are projecting in many ways. Um, so I wouldn't say like I think you should still have boundaries, better boundaries, and talk with them about how you're feeling and about how what they're doing is inappropriate and how it is not helpful for you trying to find a partner. And for some of you, maybe you shouldn't introduce your current or future partners, romantic partners, to your family until like quite a while when things are already established. So then your romantic partner doesn't feel scared and run away, is the vibe I'm getting. And for those of you who have an ex coming back to you, I don't get the vibe that they're like actually a bad person. I just think they're different enough from you where it wouldn't work out. And I think they also don't realize how I think they're also somebody who likes to be a flirt with people. They like to it just makes them feel almost powerful in a way to have these people they can reach out to and that they can like hook up with or whatever. Um, which is fine. Like people can do what they want as long as consenting adults are involved, but don't fall into that trap is the way it comes across from Spirit. Okay. Is there anything I have to specifically say more about Sagittarius? That I think more so relates to the romantic part, but the Sagittarius part to me also makes me think of philosophers and people who also play devil's advocate. People think about Libra with that, but also Sagittarius relates to that. So, well, we have the two centaur people here too, shooting arrows. So I think those arrows represent the like the shadows or seeds of doubt that your family members could place in your brain. Sagittarius is known as a very sociable, easygoing card. So I think with the Sagittarius placement, that indicates that it's easy to believe what they are saying. So I think your family members could be very believable and they could appear that they're coming from a good place, even if it's not actually, but yeah. So I just think your family members or this ex or both could be very good with their words and very good at convincing you of things. So be careful about being sabotaged in a way that people use their words specifically. I think for you, you could fall under the spell of any or all of these people that I've mentioned. Even with the star here too, it's like, yeah, having these hopeful beliefs planted inside you, and like even a family member, like, oh, like you could bag somebody so much more attractive and talented, and then it's like you find that and then they're like, oh no, but there's someone even better for you, all that. Okay, let's go into the guidebook. And so this number 16, come back to center, relates to advice that spirit has for you as it relates to this person or this situation or people, because for you I feel like there could be multiple people involved. It says you are being urged to draw inward, to align with your deep inner compass, and to come into harmony with the energy of the earth. The answer to your question does not lie in the realm of the senses or words, but the center of stillness and silence. See, that's actually really beautifully said, because yeah, I feel like there's a lot of words, a lot of talking that happens, but spirit's like, come back to center. Don't think about those words. Think about how you feel. Think about what you already know without even having to explain to yourself, right? When you take a moment to drop into the depths of you, you will find it. Everyone has his or her own unique center point of consciousness where they reside at the eye of infinity. Indeed, you are the true center of all that is. From you, infinity extends forever in all directions, including all courses of time. Equally, just as you possess and radiate infinity, you contain within you the dissolution and ending of all that is, was, or ever will be. Time is a cycle and a circle, and everything contains its opposite. Order and chaos, stillness and action, silence and sound. In other words, you are a droplet of the ocean of all wisdom, and as such, all wisdom is within you now. Still your mind and ground your energy. Be present with the vast wordless knowing that lies within your center. See, I really love how they keep bringing that up. There's so much chatter going on. There's so much seeds of doubt or seeds of information people try to plant within you to try to make you think differently. Only think differently if you feel like you should. Like, think for yourself and think of what aligns with your beliefs, what aligns with your interests, what aligns with your love life, all that. The womb space is a microcosm and actual representation of infinity. It is a doorway from nothingness into being, and from being into nothing. Whether you have a womb or not, you were born from one, so you have a profoundly infinite relationship with this fertile place of silent darkness. You are now being called to steep in its vast, quiet knowing. At this moment, place your hand on your womb space, or send yourself back to the time when you resided within one. Close your eyes, relax deeply, relieve your mind of the need to do or figure out, and instead simply be. When we tune into this womb energy regularly, we reside in our infinite nature, and everything in our life comes into much greater harmony and balance than ever before. To anchor this message in your body, do balancing yoga poses such as tree or eagle pose. Otherwise, take some deep breaths, lift your arms over your head, and balance on your tiptoes for as long as you can. You will also find it helpful to connect with the energy of the earth by walking barefoot outside or simply acknowledging the pull of gravity as a constant, harmonizing anchor. Also be sure to nourish yourself, mind, body, and spirit, in the ways that will most help you come into harmony with your moon or menstrual cycle and menopausal changes. To channel this message into your dance, engage in belly dance or focus on your womb area as you dance, and let all your actions emanate from the infinite grounded wisdom that resides there. So, yeah, really focus on your bottom 3 chakras and focus on your own inner knowing rather than the words that other people tell you. You know what's best for you, so you should rely on your own intuition and rely on just I think a lot of you could be people pleasers as well. Spirit wants you to focus on what works best for you, not what will please other people, especially if it's like a relationship. It's like your partner is not dating your family is not dating your partner. You are dating your partner, so do what's best for you in that regard. Okay, I will leave it at that. Thank you so much, 3C, for watching, listening to this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like the video, you can like the video down below. You can comment down below if you resonate with the stack, and you can update your comment again sometime in the future if there are any updates you would like to provide for us all. You can subscribe to my channel, it helps me out a lot. You can check out my timeless pick a card reading videos located all throughout my channel, and you can check out my ASMR channel, Brittney's ASMR, that will be linked in the video description down below. Thank you so much again, 3C, and take care. Hello 4D, and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. The cards pulled here are Judgment upright, Ten of Swords in reverse, Temperance upright, Four of Cups in reverse, the Chariot upright, and the Knight of Wands in reverse. And then the oracle cards here are Jupiter, learn or teach, be positive about, grow and expand, the granting of, blessings from, good fortune. And then we have 37, consult your body's wisdom. What a beautiful card that is. And I will read from the guidebook for that card later on. But for right now, let's just focus on the other cards here. It's really, your stack is very different from everybody else's, because I actually think the person who is trying to sabotage you isn't somebody who's actually sabotaging your life right now purposefully. Let me explain. I feel like this is somebody who has done something to you in the past, that they've done something to sabotage your life in some way in the past, but I don't think this is something that they are actively doing right now. But I think that this reading is coming to you today because the actions or the words that have come from this person are still affecting you to this day. And with the Four of Cups being reversed, that indicates to me, that paired with the Chariot and Temperance, indicates to me that this is something that has happened actually quite a while ago. I'm thinking, like, at minimum 2+ years ago, is this person did something to you or said something to you. I don't get the sense that you still talk to this person. If you might still follow this person on social media, some of you, but that's like the extent of it. You are not friends with this person. And in terms of who specifically this person is in your life, there's not clear messaging. I would say because Jupiter's here, if anything, it could be a friend. Could even be somebody related to workspace, but if I had to say, I would say this would be just a friend. But it could literally be, like for the other stacks, I said more specifically, if it was like a family member, a lover, stuff like that. But I feel like that this person, it could be literally anybody. But you know who this is when I talk about this person. Like, it just feels like they've left such an impact on you in a negative way. And with the Ten of Swords in reverse and the Knight of Wands in reverse, that makes me think that not only is this something that's impacted you for a while, it's something that it will take time, and with Temperance, everything. It takes time to heal from this. From the impact that this person has left on you. In whatever way. I'm trying to, like, there's specifics that come to mind, but they're kind of, like, sad. Like, for example, it could be physically, like, let's say you got into an accident because somebody was texting while driving or you in the car. That would be absolutely awful. So you could still deal with fear and anxiety, like, mentally as well as the aftermath of that. And maybe it's hard for you to drive or have somebody else drive you around, and so you always have to drive. And then physically, it could still cause you pain, and you still have to, like, go to the chiropractor once every week or two. Right? So there's things that could even physically be involved, like injury to or harm to your person, to your body, that could have happened. I'm getting a sense, though, that either way, Spirit wants me to be more general in this. So they just want me to say in any way, mentally, emotionally, physically, or spiritually, this person could have had an impact on you from the past that's still affecting you in the present. And with Judgment card being here, it actually, come here, Axel. Sorry, he's staying on the cards now. I'm hoping he doesn't lay down, because he did that for a couple of the other piles earlier, and I had to move him. Come here, Axel. Good boy. I have my blanket laid out, but he's just not laying on it. Let's see if he lays on it now. Anyway, with Judgment card here, I don't remember what I was going to say before, but I will say, I feel like this person said this thing knowing that it would lead, or did this thing knowing that the aftermath would leave a lasting imprint on you. That it would be something that caused damage in some way to you long term. And also, I feel like I should say for some of you, this feels like it is karmic. Like, if this person maybe is involved in different past lives for you, or just this type of situation that's involved could be something that has been repeated in past lives for you as well. And it's weird because I feel like a lot of you aren't really at fault for this kind of thing that happened, but it feels like something now Spirit is saying that what you can do to release this karmic patterning is by working on releasing this instead of having it impact you any further in this lifetime. There's a sense that with the Four of Cups in reverse, you also or it's indicated that you also need to take some time to reflect. I really recommend journaling. Counseling and therapy could be great as well, but for a lot of you, I recommend journaling and journaling about specifically the past and specifically about this person or situation or relationship that you have with this person. There's a lot of harm that was done that you have not done the full work yet, even if you've, like, say, forgiven. Well, some of you do need to forgive. I'm not going to say you have to, because forgiveness is a personal choice, but for some of you, maybe you'll feel better if you are able to do that, because then that person's energy is not being carried on your shoulders or on your back anymore. And speaking of the physical stuff, I really feel like a lot of you could have physical ailments because of stress that you have. And I wonder if it stemmed from or started happening around the time of this situation happening with this person in the past. I wouldn't be surprised by that. Or even if it's something like related to COVID. Like if they gave you COVID. Ooh. Like if they gave you an illness or if they did something and it caused long-term like physical ailments. Interesting. But now is a really good time to reflect, and I see this being very hard, but with the Chariot and Temperance being here, Spirit is saying that this is something that takes time. Healing is a process, it's a journey. Oh, it's 11:11 my time. So everybody make a wish right now. Okay. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Even for some of you, something like scrapbooking. I think also doing something that's really low key, like a low key hobby or interest, such as knitting. It doesn't have to be creative in nature, but for some of you, that will be more healing. But even if it's just like a walk out in nature, I think doing things that are low impact exercise or low impact, low energy activities will be very helpful in helping you heal from this thing, but also keeps you present. Because some people like doing fast paced things and also like being busy all the time because it distracts them from the thoughts. So if you're like this, Spirit is saying to slow down. Now is the time to really evaluate your thoughts and feelings instead of running away from them. Don't escape from them. Actually feel the things. Think the things. And it can be scary, but when we have consult your body's wisdom too, it's like your body at first might like pay attention to your body's cues. At first you might feel very anxious or upset by thinking about certain things, but then if you're able to practice different techniques such as body tapping, CBT therapy, exercises, if you look up certain things, I see that being able to help you. Something like grounding yourself, visualization work. Spirit really wants you to focus on different healing modalities and different grounding techniques so that you're able to pick up on your body's cues, and also you're able to pick up on, okay, is this thought that I'm having anxiety? Is it based in anxiety or is it based in actual truth? So there's a lot of distinguishing between those things you need to do right now. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if this person was kind of a gaslighter in some ways, or if they, yeah, I feel like they did a lot of things though purposely to hurt you in the past. So it feels like there's this event that was just a culmination, it was a final straw. And I think they do think about you, by the way, but I don't think they reach out. I think they also have a lot of pride anyway, and also probably because you blocked them on all that kind of stuff. But I wouldn't be surprised if they eventually come to their senses and do try reaching out to you if they haven't already. But it seems like with Judgment card here, there's a very judgmental person in general, so it feels like they're kind of mean. So with that, it's like it gives me the energy of somebody who I'm not getting the energy that they're they are themselves very sociable or very high energy. I get the sense that they kind of only had a select few people in their life. And so because they didn't have many people, the people that were in their lives, they took out all their frustrations on. And it feels like a lot of the judgments that they've had towards you are definitely judgments that they have about themselves. And I feel like there's somebody where self-sabotage is coming to mind, where they self-sabotage. Maybe it's safer for them to be alone. So now if they don't have you in their life or to the same capacity as before, it's like I think they I think they know that, but they don't fully understand that, if that makes sense. I think they understand that they make an impact on people, but they try not to think too much. They don't seem themselves to be very reflective, so I think it's good for you to be reflective of r right now understanding who this person was and who they could still be and how it's better for you to have those boundaries if you don't have them already. And it just feels like without this person being in your life, I feel like you've had bumps in the road, but Spirit is saying ultimately with the Chariot here, there's a lot of progress you've made as a person by keeping this person far away from you and from not really engaging with this person anymore. You seem like a very energetic person in terms of like you are a sponge for other people's energies. You don't seem like you're super high energy necessarily yourself, but I feel like you take on other people's energies. You're very empathetic of a person, which is why it's hard when there's people you trust or there's people you are rooting for that you try to help when they backstab you or when they do something that hurts you. So I think even though there's this one main person that I'm thinking of for this situation, I think there's multiple instances that you can think of. I think working on healing this past instance with this person will open the floodgates for you to evaluate other relationships you've had and how people have treated you, and it will also help you realize how people treat you right now. And maybe people do walk all over you, step all over you, or treat you unkindly. So think about what can you do to have better boundaries in place or to find better friends, because I think a lot of you are helpers, so maybe you take on people who um oh, okay, yes, try not to forget that. I think some of you take on people who what was I saying? You take on people who you can like fix or help in some way, but that doesn't mean people are always deserving of your help, and that doesn't mean people are willing to accept your help. So I think it's also a time now to heal those parts of yourself where you do so much for other people. You need to be able to do more for yourself as well. And Temperance is right next to Jupiter. Both of those are Sagittarius energy. Temperance represents Sagittarius and uh oh god, is it wait, Libra. Okay, now I am losing my marbles. I cannot think right now. I always forget while I'm doing these readings, and then when I look at these pick-a-card readings after the fact, I'm like, oh, well, duh, this card relates to this astrology sign, but the Chariot, I'm pretty sure is Cancer, and then Judgment, is Judgment Libra energy? I don't know. Anyway, there's major energy here, where it feels like there's a lot that needs to be released and healed from the past, so they are not actively sabotaging you, but the impact that has been left still sabotages you in a way because you're still holding on to it. Also think about why you're still holding on to this person or holding on to this energy or the situation involved. Is it because you have taken it in and feel like you are at fault? I want to say, if there's any blame or fault you have for the past or you didn't handle things in the best way, Spirit is saying you need to forgive yourself as well. There's a lot of forgiveness. I think I talked about forgiveness potentially toward the other person, but especially forgiveness toward yourself, because I think a lot of you hold shame and blame for this past instance, and you maybe believe the negative things this person has said about you or has done to you, and you feel like you're deserving of those things in some way. And Spirit is saying that the way this reads to me is that you weren't deserving of this happening to you, and that you also aren't deserving of it still having any lasting impact on you. That this person did this thing and that they shouldn't have, and that you don't need to carry this with you any longer, that it's okay for you to let it go and forgive yourself. And I think for you, positive affirmations could be very helpful. I think, yeah, anything that's a gentle technique, like being out in nature, going for a nice nature walk, being out in the sun. I think doing things where you're really grounding your energy and you're present of your surroundings will help you to not be engaging in any bad habits or behaviors as it relates to this instance or person. Because I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I think a main bad habit a lot of you could have because of this situation is just negative self talk, where you also, I think you don't trust yourself, you don't trust your intuition. And that relates to the gaslighting that I think some of you have experienced too, where you've been gaslit, so now it's like you're in this state of not trusting yourself anyway, because of this instance. You probably had issues with that in the past too, but I think a lot of you do pick up on, or you gain, how do I explain? You utilize what you think is your intuition based off of what other people tell you, but that isn't intuition, it's just what other people are telling you, right? So I think now's a good time to distinguish between your intuition and other people's judgments, because I think you consider what other people have to say too much, and Spirit is saying you need to learn to trust yourself more right now. And in terms of where this person's at in life right now, I feel like they're probably not as bad of a person. Maybe they weren't even a bad person before, but I feel like they're probably not doing as many bad things, but that's because there's less people to judge. Maybe they feel more lonely, but I don't think they realize how lonely and isolated they are in comparison to how many friends they could have. I think this person does have potential to be a very happy and charming person and a very successful person in life, but I just think they have some things to work through. So that's up to you in the future if you would like to decide to reach back out to them again, or if they reach out to you, if things are able to be okay. If anything, I'd wait for them to reach out to you, but I feel like things will I think things will be either way okay for you. Focus on yourself right now. And if this person does change for the better, whether you talk to them again in the future or not, then that's great for them. I think they have the potential to, but there will have to be some compromises they will have to make with their guides and just with their people in life, I think. Because there's nothing stopping them from being a better person in the present. I just think there's probably something plagued by their past or even a past life that's allowing for this behavior or line of thinking to progress, but or to be the mainstay. Is that like the correct wording? Okay, let's go into the guidebooks. We have 37, Consult Your Body's Wisdom. You are a spark of divine essence crystallized into physical expression. Oh, love that. Your body is the holy vehicle that carries this sacred spark. The superb and supreme intelligence that creates and sustains galaxies also flows through and animates your human form. Remember this truth and honor your body in the fullness of its divine design. And as an expression of the divine mind, your body is sacred, perfect, and precious precisely as it is. Even the physical challenges you may be experiencing are your body's ways of communicating to you about ways you can love and care for yourself more thoroughly and meticulously than ever before. What's more, there's a good reason we have sayings like butterflies in my tummy, lump in my throat, and I'm going with my gut. Our body always gives us feedback about what is nourishing, healthy, and positive, as well as what is depleting, dangerous, and compromising. Even though it doesn't use words, your body is always talking to you. Are you listening? See, yeah, that's a really big thing that you all have to learn is picking up on your body's cues and your intuition. Take a moment now to consider how endlessly loyal and supportive your body is. It supports your air, pumps your blood, absorbs your nutrients, and detoxifies your organs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even while you are asleep. That's the thing, too. Some of you, I think, have negative body image. And so maybe you don't love and respect your body in the way that you should. So find, if anything, try to have body neutrality if you can't have any moments of body positivity, because your body does do so much for you. And I think in some ways, what this person did to judge you could have involved your physical appearance or your looks in some way. And I just think you maybe still deal with that, like culturally and societally, people may still be judgmental of how you look, how much you exercise, how much and what you eat. But focus on what feels best for your body instead of what other people are telling you to do. Tune into your body now. Cultivate a loving relationship with your physical and energetic self and open up to the profound wisdom that lives in every cell, every function, and every interconnected system within the sacred temple that holds your life force essence. Connect with your body's vast store of intelligence by forming a triangle with your hands. Do this by flattening your palms, tight. Do this by flattening your palms, fingers tight together and thumbs extending out. Touch the tips of your left and right pointer fingers together and also touch each thumb tip to create a triangle of space between your hands. Place this triangular hand position on your womb space or lower abdomen with your palms facing inwards. Touch your body in such a way that the triangle and fingertips are pointing downward. Next, flip the hand position to be an upward facing triangle directly in front of the heart center with the palms facing out. Then release the triangle gesture as you lift your hands above your head with the base of your palms touching. Splay your fingers outward to form a lotus or chalice-like position with your hands. Gracefully sweep your arms outwards and downwards. Then repeat this three-part movement sequence from the beginning. Down in parentheses it says downward triangle at lowered belly, upward facing triangle at heart, hands in a lotus shape above your head. As you touch your belly, feel that you are aligning with power. When you bring your hands to your heart, attune to the frequency of love. And when you reach your hands above your head, channel divine wisdom from the infinite source. When you strengthen your relationship with your body, you tap into a vast and infallible source of God or goddess power. Listen deeply and follow your body's wisdom. I really recommend physical healing modalities such as Reiki for you all, even if it's something like massage therapy. Body tapping, stuff like that, where you get in tune with your body. I think that will help release stored up emotions and experiences from your body. I think you store a lot more in your body than you even realize. So yeah, doing that, being aware of your body sensations, that will be very important for you. I will leave it at that though. Thank you so much, 4D, for watching and listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, you can like the video down below. You can comment down below if you resonate with the stack, and you can update your comments sometime in the future if there are any updates you would like to provide for us all. You can subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. You can check out my timeless pick a card reading videos located all throughout my YouTube channel, and you can check out my ASMR channel, Brittney's ASMR. That will be linked in the video description down below. Thank you so much again, 4D, and take care.